Hi, I'm Rita Wilkins, also known as the Downsizing Designer. Welcome back to my weekly 5 in 5 series where I share 5 quick tips in just 5 minutes on living with less and also decluttering. So today's topic is about a 5-day letting go challenge, living with less so you'll love it more. So my very first day is letting go of someday stuff. So a challenge here is that so oftentimes we're holding on to things just in case. Clothes that might fit again, tech gadgets that you might use someday. I once had a client who had a basement full of unopened boxes and they were all labeled someday. So 10 years later, when he was getting ready to move, they were still there. So someday obviously didn't happen. So if you haven't used something in a year, your life has probably already told you the answer about just letting it go. So one action that you could take this week is choose 5 someday items to donate, toss, or give away. The second day is let go of family guilt. So one of the challenges here is that so oftentimes we feel responsible for keeping everything that our parents owned. The china, the furniture, the boxes of photos, and then it piles up in your house. One young woman said that she couldn't let go of her mother's serving platters because it reminded her of her mother, and she felt she would dishonor her, even though she didn't entertain that way. So keeping a few very meaningful items is honoring your parents or loved ones. Keeping everything is just overwhelming. And then one action that you could take this week to join the challenge is pick one family heirloom to keep with intention and then release the rest with gratitude. Day 3 is let go of cluttered commitments. We all have these. If you look at your calendar, it might be as cluttered as your closet. You've overbooked, you're exhausted, and you're stretched too thin. After downsizing, I realized that I didn't need to just clutter my house. I needed to declutter all of my yeses on my calendar. So one tip here is to say no. It isn't selfish. It's actually creating space for what matters most to you. So one action you could take this week is to cancel or reschedule one obligation this week that doesn't align with your priorities. And day number 4 is let go of perfect. Love this one. And the challenge here is that you're waiting for the perfect time, the perfect system, the perfect energy to start decluttering. So it never happens. So one client told me, I'll start decluttering once I feel more organized. So I just kind of smiled at her and I said, well, maybe you'll feel more organized once you start decluttering. So a tip here is progress beats perfection every single time. And one action you could take this week is to set a timer for just 10 minutes and declutter one small spot, a drawer, a countertop, a shelf, then stop and celebrate. And my last tip, and day 5, is to let go of what no longer fits in your life. A challenge here is that you've changed, but your stuff maybe hasn't caught up. So when I downsized from my big home to a small apartment, I realized holding on to a life that I previously lived wasn't fitting anymore. So a tip here is to keep only what supports the life that you're living right now, not the one that you've already outgrown. So one action you could take this week is to walk through one room today, identify 3 things that no longer fit into this chapter of your life, and then let them go. So at the end of day 5, you could make these small shifts and it will make a huge difference in your life. You've proven that you can let go gently and intentionally and without the guilt. Living with less isn't about losing anything. It's about creating space and also creating more purpose. So if you will, share one thing that you let go of this week and what you gained in return. It's a small way for us to let each other know what we're doing. So if you'd like to know more and learn more about decluttering, you might want to check out my Minimalist Essentials Workbook. I'll put the link in below. It's a workbook filled with tools and tips and checklists, everything to help you declutter room by room. And then I also want to announce that next week, October 15th, I'm going to be releasing a brand new book I've been working on behind the scenes. It's called the Letting Go Workbook. It launches on October 15th. And we will have special pricing for the first couple of weeks to the first 20 people. So I hope this helps.